I met Mr. Walter in a situation that, honestly, I wish I never had to witness. He was a 67-year-old man, independent, clear-minded, never hospitalized for heart disease or diabetes. He still took walks every morning, read books every afternoon, and lived with quiet consistency and care. And then, a phone call at 3 a.m. He couldn't move one side of his body. He couldn't speak. His wife found him lying on the bathroom floor, on his side. We ran a CT scan and blood work. Mild stroke of left parietal lobe. Thankfully, it was caught early enough to treat, but it still left him with short-term memory issues. No high blood pressure. No smoking. No high cholesterol. The biggest question in my mind was, how could this happen? I spent the whole morning going through every detail of his lifestyle. And only one thing stood out: he snacked every night. To be exact, either a bag of salty chips or a few milk chocolate bars, eaten around 9 p.m. right before bed. His wife told me, he said it helped him relax. He'd done it for years. I mean, it's just a small habit, nothing serious. Right, doctor? And you know what? I used to think the same. I used to believe that a few chips, a cookie, or a small piece of chocolate couldn't possibly do any harm. Until I saw his brain on the MRI showing very real damage. You watching this video right now may also have an evening snack. Something to relax. Something to help you sleep. Something light that feels harmless. But let me say this, as sincerely as I can, as a doctor who's spent years focused on the brain, it's those small things repeated at the wrong time, night after night, that can thicken your blood, clog tiny vessels in the brain, and quietly take away a part of your memory. And I want to ask you this: do you believe a few evening snacks can make your blood thicker every day? I used to think now till I saw it happening, clear as the lights in the emergency room. So if you're someone you love has the habit of nighttime snacking, please watch this video to the end. Because with just one small change, you could preserve a part of your memory so precious, you'd never want to lose it once it's gone. Next, I'll explain clearly why one small snack, seemingly harmless, can thicken your blood each night, and why that becomes one of the most dangerous threats for anyone over 60. I know when I say a small evening snack could harm your brain, many people shake their heads. I've eaten like this for years, and I'm fine. And truly understand. Because those snacks, they look harmless. No toxins. No allergies. They don't cause immediate pain. But inside your body, especially inside those tiny blood vessels leading to your brain, the story is different. And if you don't understand that story today, you might regret it someday soon. Let's begin with something most people never notice: your blood can slowly become thicker without any warning. No fever. No fatigue. Just slower circulation. And the reason? It could be the light snacks you eat every night: salty chips, butter cookies, milk chocolate, salted roasted nuts, fried snacks. All of them have three ingredients that quietly hurt your blood vessels. Salt holds water inside blood vessels, increases pressure, thickens the vessel wall. Sugar triggers inflammation in cells, damages vessel linings, makes platelets thick. Saturated fats, trans fats, increases blood viscosity, blood flows less smoothly. Now imagine this happening every night. After a snack at 9 p.m. you lie down. Your body enters rest mode. Heart rate slows. Blood flow to the brain naturally decreases. It's normal during sleep. But now, because your blood is thicker, the smallest vessels in your brain can't push blood through as easily. The result: a tiny area in your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. You don't pass out. You don't collapse. But you might wake up the next morning and feel a mild headache, a bit more foggy than usual, struggling to remember a word, a slight weakness in your hand, a few seconds of poor balance. Doctors call this a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. The danger? It doesn't leave clear scars. But repeated too often, it slowly chips away at your memory and increases the risk of a full stroke. That's not all. When you snack late, your body works harder to digest, forcing your liver and heart to stay active when they should be resting. Blood pressure fluctuates. Heart rhythm shifts during sleep. And in that moment, if one weak blood vessel gives in, it could rupture without warning. I know these may sound worrying. But you don't need to give up snacking completely. You just need to choose differently, the right snack, at the right time, in the right amount. And I'll share that with you soon. But before we go there, you need to know, some of the most dangerous snacks that thicken your blood are probably sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet right now. In the next part, I'll list them clearly so you can find out if you've been unknowingly putting your brain at risk. I once sat down with a 70-something gentleman and asked, "Do you snack at night?" He answered instantly, without hesitation. "Sure. Around 8:30, I grab a few crackers, maybe some cold sausage slices, then sit down to watch TV. Just a little treat, doc." I sat quiet for a moment. Not because I was shocked, but because he wasn't the first. So many older adults snack like this every evening thinking it's light, harmless, barely worth mentioning. But that barely worth mentioning, when repeated often enough, is exactly what thickens your blood and slowly deprives your brain of nourishment. Here are the 5 most common evening snacks I've seen in patients over 60 and why you might want to rethink them. 1. Packaged potato chips. It sounds innocent. But each crispy bite is loaded with salt and oils heated at high temperatures. Just a small bag, about 50 grams, can contain up to 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium, almost 20% of your daily recommended salt intake. When eaten at night, salt holds water inside vessels, raises blood pressure, oxidized oils make blood stickier, slowing down flow through tiny brain capillaries. The result? At night, when your circulation naturally slows, this stickiness can cause a small part of the brain to miss oxygen just long enough to leave micro damage. 2. Industrial sweet or savory biscuits. Many people call this a light bite for evening tea. But those small cookies often contain refined sugar, palm oil, a saturated fat, preservatives that trigger low-grade inflammation. Sugar causes blood sugar spikes, especially dangerous if you snack late, making the heart race and the brain restless. And those saturated fats make blood flow sluggish, especially through the memory centers of the brain. Once in a while? Fine. Every night? After a few months, you may notice shallow sleep, heavy-headed mornings, and a slower memory. 3. Milk chocolate. Sounds comforting. And sure, chocolate contains antioxidants. But here's the truth, only dark chocolate, 85% or more cacao, is good for heart and brain. The milk chocolate you find in most stores, high in sugar, saturated fat from full cream milk, a small bar packs 200 to 250 empty calories at night. It spikes your blood sugar then drops it mid-sleep. That robs the brain of energy. Your heart strains. And your brain's vessels have to overwork just to keep steady flow. 4. Salted roasted nuts, almonds, peanuts, cashews. Nuts are healthy, many say. And yes, they are. If unsalted and dry roasted. Most packaged nuts? Roasted with salt, cooked in poor quality oils, stored long enough to develop free radicals. Salt in nuts adds up quickly, especially if you snack on just a handful or 2 every night. And eating salty nuts without enough water thickens your blood, pressuring the heart right when you're trying to rest. 5. Cold cuts and ready-to-eat sausages. Tasty. High in protein. Always in the fridge. But here's the catch. Extremely high in salt, for preservation, nitrites, coloring agents, oxidative stress, saturated fats, often paired with bread, soda, or beer. If eaten around 8 to 9 p.m., your blood thickens. Your liver strains. Your blood pressure fluctuates as you sleep. And if even one fragile vessel in your brain can't hold that pressure, it could rupture silently. You see? None of these snacks are poison. But the timing, quantity, and repetition are what turn them into a hidden danger. So let me gently ask you, do you snack on any of these at night? And if so, do you think you might be ready to tweak the habit just a little, so you can protect your memory a lot longer? Leave me a comment below this video. Because your your small change might help someone else realize something they've never noticed before. But here's the good news: you don't have to give everything up. Just change a few choices. In the next part, I'll share the story of someone who did just that, who turned their nightly snack into a brain-friendly habit, and in doing so, protected their clarity and focus for years to come. I still remember the first time I met Mrs. Carroll, a 72-year-old woman with neatly trimmed silver hair and a voice as soft as a June breeze. She sat across from me, not complaining, just let out a sigh and quietly said, "Lately, doctor, I forget things. The other day, I stood in front of the fridge and couldn't remember what I was there for. And I can't sleep well. I keep waking up around 1 or 2 a.m. with my head in a fog. In the morning, my heart races, my mouth is bitter, and my vision feels blurry." I asked her about medication, medical history, blood pressure, eating, activity. Everything was fairly stable for her age. But then I asked, "What do you usually eat in the evening, before bed?" She smiled gently, as if that was the one part of her day that still brought her a bit of joy. "Oh, just a few butter cookies or some chocolate. Sometimes a few salted cashews. Helps me relax and sleep, doctor. It's a little routine, around 8:30 or 9 every night." I didn't scold her. I didn't shake my head. I simply shared what I've seen: how thickened blood, tiny brain vessels, and fading memory can quietly slip in when we least expect it. And I said, you don't have to give up your snack entirely. But maybe choose something different. Eat a little earlier and give your brain a little peace before bed. Just try it for 3 weeks. Then we'll check in. She looked at me, eyes lowering just a little. Then nodded gently and said, almost like a whisper to herself, "Well, maybe I'll try. A clear morning is worth more than a cookie at night." 3 weeks later, she came back. Same beige sweater. Same soft smile. But her eyes, they were different. Clearer. Brighter. I asked, "How's your sleep, Mrs. Carroll?" She nodded, "I'm sleeping 5 hours straight without waking. My eyes feel fresh. My head feels light. In the morning, I don't even need coffee anymore. I just open the window, take a deep breath and feel calm all over." And the strangest thing is, I remembered my husband's old phone number, something I thought I had forgotten months ago. I asked more about her new routine. She shared, dinner at 6 p.m., light and low in oil, around 7, if she's slightly hungry, a few slices of green apple, a handful of unsalted walnuts, or a warm glass of plant-based milk. After that, nothing more, just warm water, in bed by 9 p.m. to let her mind truly rest. Then she looked at me, placed her hand gently over her heart, and said softly, "I gave up one little snack and got my clear mornings back. That's a fair trade, isn't it?" You see, not everyone changes because of facts. But when they feel the difference in their body, in their mind, they never want to go back. And you don't have to give up everything either. You just need to make wiser swaps, and I'll show you exactly how. In the next section, I'll share 3 memory-friendly, brain-safe evening snacks so you can still enjoy your nighttime treat without making your brain pay the price. After I shared Carol's story, many people turned to me and asked, "So doctor, if I can't have cookies, potato chips, or milk chocolate, what can I eat instead?" I completely understand that question. Because snacking isn't just about the stomach, it's often a form of comfort, a gentle end to the day, a ritual of peace for many seniors. So I'm not asking you to give it up. I'm just asking you to make a small change. Choose something different. Eat at a better time. Enjoy it in a softer, more mindful way, as if you're gently taking care of your own brain. Here are 3 brain-friendly evening snacks I often recommend to my older patients. They're simple, easy to prepare, gentle on blood vessels and friendly to your memory. 1. Unsalted walnuts and almonds, lightly roasted. You don't need many, just 3 to 5 walnuts, 5 to 7 almonds. Choose unsalted, lightly roasted, and not fried. Why it helps. Omega-3 fats and walnuts improve blood flow to the brain and reduce tiny vessel inflammation. Antioxidants in almonds support clean, flexible blood vessels, a great source of healthy fat and protein that won't spike your blood sugar. How to eat. Enjoy between 6 and 7 p.m., chew slowly, avoid eating while watching TV, can pair with a few slices of green apple or pear. If chewing is difficult, try unsweetened nut butter on a slice of whole grain toast. 2. Fresh low-sugar fruits, raw, slow eating style. Just a little. Half an apple. A few blueberries. A slice of kiwi. Choose whole fruits, not smoothies. No honey. No dried fruits. Why it helps. Vitamin C and fiber protect the inner lining of brain blood vessels. Flavonoids, in blueberries and kiwi, may slow memory decline. High water content helps blood flow and naturally thins the blood. How to eat. Eat before 7 p.m. You may pair with a spoonful of unsweetened yogurt if you want more texture. Avoid bananas, raisins, or dried fruit. They're high in sugar and low in fiber. 3. A warm glass of unsweetened nut milk. This is my favorite recommendation. Gentle on digestion, soothing for the mind, and protective for blood vessels. Suggestions. Walnut milk, almond milk, lotus seed milk, all unsweetened, gently warmed. For natural sweetness, add a few slices of apple or a pinch of cinnamon. Why it helps. Contains tryptophan, which helps with deep sleep. No saturated fats like dairy milk. Calms the nervous system before bedtime. Add a thin slice of fresh ginger while warming the milk. It's aromatic and gently boosts circulation. You see, snacks aren't the enemy. But when we eat them, what we choose, and how we approach them, that's what matters. You can still enjoy your evening snack not as a habit of boredom, but as a ritual of care for your brain. No extreme dieting. Just slow eating, right timing, and respect for the brain that has carried you this far. And if you already have a healthy snack you enjoy at night, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below the video. Who knows? Your small idea might be the key for someone else who's searching for a better way. And next, I'll gently close today's journey with one last message. Not a warning. Just a reminder. Don't let a small snack steal a lifetime of memories. I still remember the look in Mr. Walter's eyes, the morning after his mild stroke. He couldn't speak. But when his wife came close, calling his name in that familiar voice she used for decades, he looked at her eyes, searching, uncertain. As if trying to recall something deeply known, but the mind had floated somewhere else. And then, he closed his eyes. A single tear slid down. Not from physical pain, but from something deeper, the quiet heartbreak of no longer being able to say the name of the one you love, because of a tiny snack eaten each night. I don't share this to scare you. I share this so you'll remember, stroke doesn't always start with sudden pain. It often begins with something small repeated at the wrong time. A chip. A sweet cookie. A piece of milk chocolate. They seem harmless, but paired with age, fragile vessels, and restless sleep, they can quietly erase the memories of tomorrow morning. If you're living to stay healthy, start with the smallest things. Because it's those little things done nightly that quietly shape the memory you'll carry after 60. You don't have to live strictly. Just live with understanding. Choose your evening bites as gifts for the brain that's traveled with you for decades. And if you've stayed with me this far, I believe you're no longer someone who overlooks a late-night snack. You're awake now. And that awareness is a gift you can pass on. If this message touched you, I invite you to share this video with someone you love, a friend, a family member, someone who still snacks late at night out of habit. Because maybe, just maybe, your act of sharing could help them keep a precious part of their memory, a part they'd never get back if it slipped away. We can't stop aging. But we can keep our aging minds clear, one day, one dinner, one thoughtful choice at a time. And sometimes, just changing the way we snack can change how we remember, how we love, and how we live the most meaningful years we still have. Thank you for listening. And I wish you a deep, peaceful sleep and a memory that stays strong for many mornings to come.